So the deadline then is tonight. By tonight, the French President Emmanuel Macron had urged France's lawmakers to come up with a deal to run the country, or he said he would take his responsibilities. That potentially translating into new parliamentary elections here. That, though, seems a little more remote now. We just heard in the last half hour from the outgoing French Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu, who's been talking to all those political parties. As he spoke ahead of meetings with the Socialist today, he said he will present his findings to Emmanuel Macron this evening, but there is a real will to try and vote a budget through by the end of the year, and that has made the need for dissolution more remote. Not much other evidence exactly of what he means, but we can cross to Matignon where those meetings are happening and talk to our reporter who joins us from there, Clovis Casali. Clovis, as I say, not a lot of detail, is there, about what exactly this way forward is, but Sébastien Lecornu seems a little bit more confident that he may have at least have found one.
Absolutely confident, a bit more optimistic, and the socialist leaders have just arrived here at the Hôtel de Matignon for this fresh round of talks, final hours, should I say, before Sébastien Lecornu presents his conclusions tonight to French President Emmanuel Macron, who then will have the final word: snap parliamentary elections or not, new Prime Minister or not. And earlier at the Hôtel de Matignon, Sébastien Lecornu made this surprise statement where he expressed his optimism, let's say. He stressed that the various political parties he's been talking to, negotiating with, seem to want to find some kind of agreement and vote this much-needed budget before December 31st. Sébastien Lecornu also saying, and that's possibly the most important part of his statement, that the perspective of a dissolution of snap parliamentary elections seems slightly more remote. But again, you have to be extremely cautious because many things can happen in politics. Many things can happen when you're trying to find an agreement between different political parties with different agendas, different values, different manifestos. How can you put together a coalition government with left-wing figures like the Socialist and the Green Party, and along with right-wing figures, or at least centre-right figures? It's going to be very difficult indeed. And the Green Party will be coming here to the Hôtel de Matignon for a fresh round of talks just after the Socialists.
It puts an awful lot of pressure, doesn't it, on the Socialists and on those other left-wing parties to make some concessions to try and find this way forward, doesn't it?
Indeed, and the far-left leader, Jean-Luc Mélenchon, who was once an ally of the Socialists, or at least an ally during the last parliamentary elections, well, he took to X, to social media this morning, to criticise heavily, once again, should I say, Olivier Faure, the leader of the Socialist Party. According to Jean-Luc Mélenchon, the Socialists are ready to make a pact, a devil's pact with the Macronie, the centrist bloc of Emmanuel Macron. That's at least what Jean-Luc Mélenchon thinks. And I spoke to one of his right-hand men yesterday at the National Assembly, who said to me, we will censor any government with socialist members in it. Socialists who'd be working, of course, with the centrist bloc. The far left also adamant there will not be a left-wing Prime Minister named tonight. The left-wing, the other left-wing parties, the Socialists, the Green Party, even the Communists, say it must be a left-wing Prime Minister today, decided by Emmanuel Macron. But again, it's going to be very difficult because the left wing wants the next government to do a U-turn on the pension reform, Emmanuel Macron's flagship reform, and also they want higher taxes on the richer parts of French society. And we're talking the very rich here in France, those who have more than 100 million euros in their bank accounts. That's a point of tension also with the centrist bloc and with the right-wing bloc especially. So a lot of points of contention, a lot of tensions. So it's quite difficult to imagine Sébastien Lecornu, even though he appeared optimistic, finding a solution, finding the right person for to be the next Prime Minister. And again, the possibility of snap parliamentary elections, very real indeed.
Clovis, thanks very much. Clovis Casali there at Matignon for us. Of course, we'll be back with you, Clovis, if there's any developments over the next few hours here on The World Today.